Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll learn how to create due date automations in Trello the fastest method. So if you're unfamiliar on what Trello is all about, so this is actually a fantastic tool for organizing tasks and automation that can streamline your workflow by handling repetitive tasks automatically. So this video is all about automating due dates in Trello using the automations that we have here on our Trello board. So this will automatically set due dates on new cards based on how you name them. So for example, I have this card in here, and if we add a date in here, then it will automatically add the due date for you. So no need to manually open each card and set the due date here. So this is actually the step manually. You'll just need to open the card, click onto dates, and you should be able to add in the dates in here. So onto this tutorial, we're going to streamline this process, making it easier for you. We're just going to add a card here, name the card, and then right after, you'll just need to go ahead and type in the date for that, like June 1, and then it will automatically add the due date for you. So it is that simple and it will save a lot of manual effort. So for you to be able to set up this, what we need to do is you'll just need to log in first onto your Trello account. So we're currently onto my workspace as well and onto my own board. Now to go ahead and set up this here onto the upper part, you should be able to see this lightning icon. So this is the automation button. So we're going to click onto that and there are a lot of options to choose from. We have rules, buttons, email reports, and send feedback. So we're going to use rules in here. So these will create rules that automatically respond to actions, schedules, or a card's due date. So we're going to click onto that one and you should be able to see this one onto your screen. So there is rules here, scheduled and due date. We're gonna opt for rules here and I have a rule already in here. So this is a sample of a rule and just a quick overview as well on rules. This make things automatically happen on your board as a result of a specific trigger. So you need to have a trigger and an action for this. So we're gonna go ahead and create automation in here to get started. And these are the steps to create a rule. So as what we mentioned earlier, you need to select a trigger, select an action, and then you'll just need to review the rule and save this. So we're gonna click on to add trigger in here. And for this one, we have different triggers in here like card move, card changes, dates, checklist, card contents, and fields. So we're gonna use dates in here. You need to scroll down since there is already a format in here wherein when I enter a card name containing a specific date, set this as the due date. So this automation will automatically add due dates to your cards when you enter a temporal indication in the name or description. So these are the example for this: tomorrow at 10, next Tuesday, April 15, or just something like this. Some keywords that will automatically detect that this is its due date. So this will only trigger when you create a new card or modify its name description. So it will not work onto retroactively for existing cards on the board. So you've remembered earlier we've created a card, so this will not go ahead and add a due date for that since that one is already active. So we need to create a new one or we'll have to rename that one to enable this. Now, we're gonna go ahead and try to click onto the plus icon here. But before that, as you can see, you could be more specific as well onto this rule or automation. So when anyone enters, so you could try choose also this one. And also, instead of a card name, you could use description for this. But I think card name is much easier so that when you create a new card, it will automatically add a new one. Also, you could use starting with or ending with so that it could be very clear on where you want to add the due date. Also, you could set a date here, you could search that, and also you could opt for a due date or a start date onto that specific card. So we're gonna add that one already. We won't gonna make some changes for that. And right after, since we have selected a trigger when I enter a card name containing a date, the action for that one is set due on the date. So you could add another action for that if you like to do so, like move this card on to when the card changes, or let's choose date in here, or when the due date is marked as complete in a card. Then you could also add in the action for that to move the card or archive that specific card. So you could try to move this onto the top of the list onto done. So let's add that. And as you can see, here are the triggers that we have. So when I enter a card name containing a date and when the due date is marked as complete in a card by me. So for the first one, it will set the due on the date. And for the other trigger that we have in here, it will move the card to the top of the list onto the specific list, which is done. So right after that, just review this, make sure everything is set. You could also try to remove this So let's try to focus first regarding this one. So let's remove the other trigger and action in here, and we'll try to click on to save. So as you can see, the rule is created already, and this is the overview for that. So when I enter a card name containing a date, set the due on that date. So you'll just need to click onto this one, enable automation on board so that it will be active. So let's try that one out. So as you can see, we have that one already. And as what we've mentioned earlier, it won't work since we just made this active earlier. We're going to create a new one like card. And then we're going to choose a date in here like August 15. Click onto add card. And let's wait for this one to be updated. As you can see, it had automatically created that this card is due later. So if you click onto that, we could see that one here. So it will automatically set this at 12 a.m., but you could be more specific to that. Like for example, card test, and then we're gonna add here August 16, and we're gonna be more specific like 2 a.m. So let's wait for this one to be updated as well. And as you can see, it did create it already. Let's click onto that. And it has set the due date to August 16, 2 a.m. So we're going to click onto that if you have already completed that. And that is just basically it on how you go ahead and create a due date automation in Trello, the fastest method. And if you think this has been helpful to you, then don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you on to our next video.